everybody. It's that time of year again. We talked about it a couple of shows ago, and now today's show is going to be all about buying gifts for those hard to buy for people who have maybe downsized or just plain don't have room for any more stuff. What do they want? Well, we're going to tell you. My name is Karen Brown. I'm the publisher and editor of The Oldish, and it is my pleasure, as always, to welcome you here. Now, on theoldish.com, every year we publish a gift guide. This year, it has 60 items on it. 60. Can you believe it? I think we started out years and years ago with like 25 or 30 items, maybe. And that was on the blog, which, as I've explained to you earlier, was originally called myparentsareold.com. Catchy name, right? Anyway, that evolved into The Oldish, and every year we do this gift guide. And really, I know that it's Christmas and Hanukkah, but this is a gift guide you can look at for Mother's Day, Father's Day, birthdays, any kind of celebration that you would like to acknowledge with a little gift. So let's dig into this year's 2019 gift guide. Here it is on the Oldish website. We'll just move me out of the way a little bit more here. There we go. So we start out by, of course, talking about the older we get, the things that are most valuable to us are things that you really can't go and buy. They're things that, no, number one thing, time. The older we get, the more spending time with our loved ones is valued and treasured. So, if you don't have much of a budget, time, number one. Okay? So as we go through here, speaking of budget, there will be things for people who have very little budget, things for people who are handy with their hands, things for people to put together here and there, I think with stuff you can buy at the dollar store. And there are some more expensive things as well as we get into the areas of technology. So, of course, as I said, time is number one. Digital picture frame has been on our list for quite some time. Now, I'm not going to go through every single item. You can read all of these, but I do want to highlight a few things. Digital picture frame has been on our list for a while. The number one reason why it has been on our list for a while is because when we get older, we end up having these albums and albums and albums. And increasingly, as we move into a more technological way of storing our pictures, we have them in digital format that are never printed. But we end up with all of these pictures that at one time or another held great meaning. Maybe we have labeled it with the name of the people in the picture or the location or why it was special, or maybe we haven't. But at any rate, these books and books and books and files and cardboard boxes ad nauseum full of pictures at some point need to be winnowed down, because they're probably not going to mean the same thing to the next generation that they meant to us. But if your children and grandchildren can go through your pictures, whether they are in hard format or digitally, and scan them onto a card. So that's those little cards that go in cameras and computers. You can get a digital picture frame, and you can have multiple cards. So if you're the one doing the gift, you can have multiple cards, as long as the person who is receiving the gift knows how to switch out the cards. You can have holidays, you can have pictures of the children of the recipient through the years, as they were born, as they went to school, as they grew up, married, and had their own families. You can have as many cards as you like that are able to be put into this digital card picture frame. And that's a very cool gift, to be able to have and save space, particularly for people who live in long-term care. Okay, now if they have a smart TV, that takes it to a whole other level. You can cast it to a smart TV and they can see this stuff on the biggest appliance in their house. Music, you can do kind of the same thing. Gift certificates, of course, there are an endless number of gift certificates that people can have for things that are actually really meaningful to them. So the Echo Show, that has a new skill rolling out that we talked about on one of our earlier shows a couple of months back. And it's called Alexa's Show and Tell skill. So people with diminished vision can actually hold whatever they're holding, whether it's a spice bottle or just something small, and ask Alexa, what am I holding? And Alexa will tell you what you're holding. So if your vision is somewhat diminished and you can't read that small print, that's a really terrific gift. Fidget aprons. These are usually made at library or church circle groups where they gather up various and sundry bits of baubles and ribbons and things with texture and sew them onto an apron. This is a fantastic gift for somebody who has dementia, because they do, when dementia is a challenge in your life, fiddling with things that have texture or zippers that go up and down, buttons that you can do up and undo, becomes a tremendously motivating activity that can occupy people for a very long period of time and engage their brain and their fingers in doing something. Same can be said with puzzles. Now, if you are trying to find a gift for a caregiver, wander, safety, and fall alarms are an invaluable gift. So, don't always think of gifts as something that are shiny. It can be something that is tremendously practical, that an individual needs, that maybe they can't afford for themselves, or maybe they wouldn't have thought of for themselves. Hip protectors fall into that category. In our retail partner store, which is Brown Healthcare, we sell a lot of hip protectors for people who live in long-term and acute care, people who live in the community with a caregiver, and hip protectors are something that protect their hips from a fall, from becoming fractured as a result of a fall. Now, this is something that is often prescribed by an occupational therapist or a physiotherapist, and they're not cheap. It's all relative, I suppose. They will last for quite a while. In fact, in the washer and dryer, I can tell you they last longer than my own underwear. That might be too much information, but regardless, if somebody that you are looking for a gift for needs this level of protection but maybe can't afford it, that's a gift that you could give, or multiple family members could go in on and provide a hip protector to keep somebody safe. Automatic night lights. We talk a lot around here about protecting yourself from a fall, advocating for yourself. So these night lights are tremendous things. We particularly like one called the Light Owl because it's triggered by motion. And you can hang it or you can sit it on a floor. It comes with this little piece that can fold out into a V shape and sit on the floor, or the back part folds up and it's a hanger, so you can hang it on a doorknob or anything, a drawer handle. You can hang it on anything. So we particularly like that. Fire Avert. Now that's something that is really interesting, and there are several devices like it, so definitely read reviews and see what you think, but we do like the Fire Avert. I first saw it on Shark Tank. For those of you who like those kinds of shows, in Canada, the counterpart is called Dragon's Den. Fire Avert is something that automatically shuts power off to a stove when it has been left on. As soon as something triggers a smoke alarm, Fire Avert shuts it down. And it's available for electric and gas stoves. So that's pretty good. Gift boxes. Now, gift boxes are something that you can do a one-off. You can put it together yourself with bits and pieces that would appeal to the particular recipient you have in mind. There are also gift boxes for everything under the sun out there now. Makeup, meat, shaving, I mean, you name it, and you can buy a gift box. This is something that you can buy a subscription to, so that every month or every quarter, your recipient is receiving another gift. So it's kind of a gift that keeps on giving. But if you put together a gift box on your own, that's just as special. And rather than buying one thing, this is again something that a number of family members can go in on and put together a gift box of small and useful things. It could be warm socks, a toque, it could be some special candies that the person likes, it could be a gift card to something. I mean, you get to build whatever it is that you want and whatever it is that suits your budget. So that's a pretty good gift. Audiobooks. I love audiobooks. Having just gone through the process of moving, I can tell you I am not somebody who likes to throw books away. I can't do it. I just cannot do it. So, in going through my books, I kept some that are particular treasures for me, some that have been autographed by the authors, but I ended up giving away 11 boxes of books. I have a friend who's a member of the Rotary, and they do a program where they take books and they send them to places that need books, to schools and groups of people in towns and villages in different places that need books. I think that these books that I donated went to South Africa. So there are also programs that send them into reservations in Northern Ontario. And if you're in the States, there will be schools that need books. There will be libraries that need books. I know that libraries are always on the lookout for unique books, but I was at a social event with our local town librarian the other night, and I said, forgive me, but I didn't give these 11 boxes to you. And she said, it happens all the time. People want to donate books to us. And she actually went to the home of the individual, and I believe there were 20 some odd boxes of books. She took 2, but she made recommendations to them on where they could donate the remainder. So they were going to go to a good home eventually, but just not the library. Large button TV remotes, large button cell phones fall into the same category. Nice warm blankets. Memory journals are something we've had on our gift list for a couple of years now. You can go to bookstores and you can find them on Amazon and Chapters Indigo as well, that guide you through a series of questions that you can ask older adults about their life and the way life was for them when they were younger and as they were growing up, what their wedding was like, what their schooling was like, what it was like to raise children, all kinds of wonderful memories. The best part of this is it ends up being something of a win-win, because as you're asking these questions, you're getting information and you're hearing family stories that you might not otherwise have heard. And you can be the scribe and write them down, or you can just give them the book and ask them to fill it out, whatever makes you happy. But really, I find these kinds of books to be a major win-win. So let's go on through here. Light therapy lamps. I just bought one, and again, it was one that I saw in Shark Tank. I kind of love those business programs, but it helps with seasonal affective disorder, those winter blues that we can all get. It's very tiny. It's a very tiny lamp. People who love gardening, garden kneelers are always great. Comfy new sweatpants or a bathrobe. Nordic walking poles for somebody who still likes to get out and walk and walk and walk. Those are terrific. And here we come finally to the homemade gift baskets. So there are a lot of really good ideas for people out there, and I hope you will take advantage of this list, not only now as we approach the season of gift giving, but all year long. You can refer back to this list. So save it to your library. If you're a member of theoldish.com, which is free, you will know that you have your own library, and you just hit that add to library button. It's at the bottom. Let me show you that again. It's right here, this add to library box, and you can save it there to your library and it'll be there whenever you need it. Of course, you can also print it out, you can share it, you can do whatever you like, but hopefully, even if a particular gift on the list is not specifically what you're looking for, the list will provide you with some inspiration. That is our show for today. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I hope you're all inspired by the season as I am. As always, I will invite you back for another edition of the Oldish TV next Wednesday at 12 noon. Until then, please do remember that it takes a village to age a senior.